In this video, I will be showing how to declare variables in Java. Okay, so up on the screen, I will list all primitive data types and a reference data type. I won't be going into detail on what primitive and reference mean, since this video is just about how to declare variables in Java. I will be focusing on two data types from this list, being integer, which holds a numeric whole value from -2 billion to 2 billion, and a string, which holds a sequence of characters. Okay, so now I'm in Eclipse, and I will start declaring the two different variable types I said I would be focusing on. I'm going to start with integer. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to start with int for integer, and I'm going to have to give this value a name, and I will have the name as x, and then end statement. And then use a semicolon to end the statement. And now, once after this, I will have to assign a value to that variable. So I will underneath that put x is equal to 10, end statement. And so now I made an integer with the name x, and that x integer holds the value of 10. So now I am going to system.out.print, and I'm going to print out x, end statement. And what this is going to do is going to print out x, and x has a value of 10, so it's going to print out 10. So I'm going to run this, okay, and it prints out 10. And now, if I were to change this, for example, to 15, I run it again, and it'll print 15. Now, if I were to change this integer to a y, and this to a y, this x does not exist anymore. So if I were to run it, it would give me an error. So what I can do is I can change this with y, and I can then run it, and then it will give me 15, because now y holds the value of 15 and x no longer exists. Now another way I can do this is I can also just initialize everything at the same time. So I can just int x, and instead of ending it here, I'm going to give it a value straight away. I'm going to give it the value of 10, end statement. So now I'm going to system.out.print x. I will hit run, and it's going to give me 10. So you can either do it both ways. You can do it that way, or the other way we learned. And I'm going to, for this one, I'm going to use y. Y equals 15. No, actually, I'm going to end it here. Then I'm going to give y equals 15. And so now I am going to put another printout, system print statement, out print y. And so now it's going to give me a value of 10, because x has a value of 10, and it's going to give me a value of 15 underneath this, because this y has a value of 15. I will go to run it, and it gives me 10 and 15. Now this, I can either do it this way, initialize the variable like this, or like this. So if I wanted to initialize like the first one, I would just delete it, equals 15, end statement, and it will still give me the same thing, same output, 10 and 15. Now, another thing I can do is I can add these two things together. So if I wanted to, for example, add 10 and 15, what I can do here is I can, in my system.out.print statement, I have the value of x, which is 10, and I will add it with y. So now I have x plus y, and it's going to add the x variable with the y variable, which is 10 and 15. Now when I go to run this, it's going to give me 25 because it added 10 and 15 here. Now this also works with the other way I showed you, which would be y equals 15 like this. If you initialize it like this, it'll still be the same output because this is 10, this y has the value of 15, so I go to run it, okay, 15. Now one last thing I can do is I can add a third variable here and not give it any value at all. But what I can do is I can give it a down here. I can give it this, for example. I can give it z equals y plus x. And now what this is going to do is it's going to give z the data of y plus x, the sum of y plus x, which would be 10 and 15. So if I were to delete this and put z has no numbers. I gave it no numbers like these two right here. But what it does have is it equals the sum of y and x added together. So it would be 10 and 15. And so I'm going to print out z, and so I go to run it, it's going to give me 25. And it got that from this y, which is 15, and this x, which is 10, and it gave it the value of 15. So this looks like this, 15 and 10. 25, or y and x, 25. And now I'm going to next go on to strings. Now for strings, what we have to do is we have to do string, and we have to give it a name, maybe name equals, and then strings have to go in quotation marks. I will give it the name of Forza end statement. So now here, system.out.println, I can, instead of doing it directly like this, like how we did for Hello World, where we just directly put the name into the quotation marks in the print statement, like this, Forza, I can instead delete this and just put the variable name. And name has the data of my name, Forza. So I'll go to run this, Forza. Now, this is helpful because instead of writing everything directly, for example, Forza and plus John plus Josh, instead of writing everything directly into the print statement, I can instead do this, where I will give string name 2 equals Josh, string name 3 equals John. And here what I do is I just do name plus Josh, name 2 plus name 3, and so this, it's going to give me Forza and Josh and John. So when I go to run this, it's going to give me all the names together. So we can do here, in order to avoid this, is we can add quotation marks as a space in between these names. Name plus quotation marks plus name plus quotation marks with a space plus. So now what this is going to do is it's going to give me name Forza space plus name 2 Josh plus space plus name 3, which would be John. I go to print this. Okay, Forza, Josh, John. Another thing we can do is we can, for example, do this. We can do your name is plus we want to do my name. So now it's going to do your name is plus name, which would be Forza. We're going to run this. Your name is Forza with no space. So we add a space here, or we can also add a space here, like this. If we do it like this, your name is Forza. If we delete this and add a space here, same output, your name is Forza. If we change this name to name 2, your name is Josh. Now, let's say Josh had a very long name. Instead of writing this name in every single time into the print statement, we can very simply just switch between them. Run, your name is John, and then the rest of it, or change it to 3. Your name is John, name, your name is Forza. And then we go back to Josh with his crazy name. And that is how you initialize variables in Java.